Hey, what's up, everyone? This is Snackbox. Hope you all are having an amazing start to the week. Guys, you might have noticed we have some interesting tournaments and events going on right now. So, we have the Gear Ascension tournament, right? We have the Champion Training tournament, and then we also will have a Fire Night tournament at the same time. And this Fire Night tournament is special because you can get a Prism summon for a specific soul event that's gonna come, but also you can only use champions from the Dark Elves faction. And I have something for you where you can double dip points, basically, right? Farm this Fire Knight dungeon, and you can do stage 20, which is probably the most efficient way anyway. And you can pretty much duo it with a Cold Heart and a Vizix. Vizix, pretty much a free-to-play champion, and then you have Cold Heart, which is a rare one, and yeah, it works like a charm. Now, people have been doing this, I think, already. Right? I don't think this is a new comp. I think I saw it somewhere. Yeah, but it works perfectly fine and comes in pretty handy for right now because we have that Dark Elves Fire Night tournament as well as the Champ Train tournament at the same time. So you can basically double dip points here. And as you can see, it's also not very long. I think it takes like 1 minute and 20 seconds, something like that. So yeah, it's okay. I wish I could do it a little bit faster, but I think to do that, I would have to put a relic on Cold Heart and maybe crit cap her and so on. And I'm going to show you the gear after the run. And I think it's, the way that I geared these champions is probably already an overkill, but it definitely makes it faster, makes the run faster. And yeah, we're going to go over it after the run. But as you can see, yeah, we're at 1 minute 10 when we're reaching the boss. And now all we want to do basically is use Cold Heart's A3, right? The Heart Seeker, it got resisted here, which is kind of unfortunate, but it should be fine because the turn meter decrease of Vizix should be enough so Cold Heart gets enough turns. And even if the Fire Knight takes a turn, we can tank a hit. That's okay. We can tank one hit. It's not that big of a deal. But usually, like here, the turn meter decrease doesn't get resisted. But if it does get resisted, you can see it takes a little bit longer, but I think it's still worth it. The only thing you have to keep in mind is that you have to use Dark Elves champions as food. Otherwise, you won't be able to get points for the tournament, right? So don't make that mistake and just throw in random food in here. Make sure you have Dark Elves champions only. So let's go over the team setup real quick, and then I'm going to show you the exact gear. You can see the stats also. I think I do have most of the area bonuses as well, so that's going to add a lot to the stats, right? And basically, I want Vizix to use the provoke once. I don't have her booked, right? None of these skills are booked. You don't need to book her if she's fast enough. Basically, I want her to use the provoke once and then cycle it back and have it ready for the second wave as well. I don't want her to use the A2 on the second wave because I want to put that decreased speed on the Fire Knight at some point, and I don't want this skill to be on cooldown, right? But on the Fire Knight, I want to open up with the A1 because it's a two-hitter, and I just want to deplete the shield as fast as possible. I don't need the provoke on the boss, right? That doesn't really matter. I just want to keep the turn meter down, deplete the shield, and place a decreased speed. And maybe the ally protection as well, in case the Fire Knight takes a turn. For Cold Heart, I want to open up with the A2, which is the AoE attack, right? I want to use this skill as much as possible on the waves, so I clear them faster. Then on round 2, same thing. I want to always prioritize this. You can actually put the first choice on this one as well. Let's do this right here too. And then on the Fire Knight, I want to open up with the A1. I think the AI does it anyway. I think they changed it where Cold Heart would use the A1 and prioritize it. That was not always the case. They changed that. But it was definitely a pretty good change. So either way, just to make sure, I want her to open up with the A1. I don't need the A2. It doesn't really matter because my goal is to keep the turn meter down and not let the Fire Knight take a turn at all. So this AoE attack does nothing for me, basically, so I just blocked it. And yeah, that's the team setup. Now let's go over the gear. Now for Wizix, you need some survivability. That's why I put her in a regeneration set. She's going to provoke all the waves, and that means she will get all the damage from the waves. And I want her to stay alive, right? And to give her some form of heal and survivability, I put her in a regeneration set, but also I put her in a 2-piece frostbite set. Now that might slow the run down a little bit, but it also makes it safer because if the enemy waves get frozen, then they won't attack, but they will also take less damage, right? So that is kind of a up and a downside. Now it's not necessary, but I guess it can be quite good to keep the waves controlled in case something goes wrong. Just another safety layer, basically. And here are the stats: 62k HP, almost 4k defense. But all you really have to care about is the HP, obviously, and the speed. Right now, let's add the Fire Knight bonuses. So yeah, as you can see, I have lots of area bonuses here. So with the bonuses, she's at 309 speed, and then almost 63k HP, and then the accuracy is a total overkill. It's good if you're settled at 250 accuracy. That's more than enough. Then you could theoretically get a golden elixir on her. This is just, I didn't even put this on her for this video specifically or this duo team. It was just on her for Faction Wars Hard. Yeah, but you know, it's a good choice if you want to keep her alive. That's also another safety layer, basically. If you can't hit these stats, this will definitely help to keep her alive. And then no books at all, no blessing, no masteries, not needed. Then for my Cold Heart, this is probably a total overkill. I put her in a 6-piece Merciless set. She also has 2 pieces of Feral, but that's, you know, just to get her speed up a little bit, and it's definitely not needed. The 6-piece Merciless, you know, makes it quicker, but you don't necessarily need it. You can also run a lethal set, for example, or any type of ignore defense set, just to kill the waves faster and to kill the Fire Knight faster. But I don't think it's super necessary. Now, obviously, the 4-piece bonus does help, right? There's a 30% chance to decrease a random skill's cooldown by 1 turn, and if we decrease the AoE hit or the big max HP hit, you know, the whole run will be faster. And, you know, this set is pretty good overall. Probably one of the best PvE sets there is. But like I said, you can definitely run a Savage set, Lethal set, or just some Cruel pieces. That should work as well. I think the biggest thing here to speed this up is the ignore defense, right? 20% ignore defense is almost like a whole ignore defense set on its own. So that speeds it up quite a bit, right? She does so much more damage with this. Then she has 40k HP almost. 2k defense, doesn't really matter. She shouldn't get damaged at all, actually. Maybe if something goes wrong, like we saw in the run, if the max HP hit, the turn meter decrease of the max HP hit gets resisted, then the Fire Knight might take a turn, and you want to be able to tank 1 hit. But, you know, that's a 3% chance. And if you can take that hit, it doesn't matter, you're still going to win. Now, 6k attack, I tried to stack up the attack to, you know, let her deal more damage. I didn't crit cap her because I wanted to maintain that speed, right? I wanted to go above 300 speed, and that's why I settled at, you know, 70% crit rate. I got a little bit more, but 70 should be totally fine because that's all she needs to crit with the max HP hit, right? So you don't necessarily need to crit cap her. 347 crit damage. That is also not necessary. You can definitely go lower with that. All that it will do is just make it faster if you have more, right? And then 385 accuracy, also way too much. Like I said, 250 is all you need. No relic. If you want to give her a relic that, you know, makes her deal more damage, that would speed it up too. Obviously, completely booked. Phantom Touch helps to get the shield down quicker. And these are the masteries. I didn't touch the masteries for this particular team, but if you would want to, you could also go with more crit damage or Helm Smasher or something like that. That might speed up the run, actually. And yeah, that's about it for the gear. So like I said, if you run this, make sure you have Dark Elves champions in there, Dark Elf food. Don't use just random food, then you won't be able to complete this tournament. We will get this free summon here for a soul out of this tournament. And this right here is what it will be for. So there will be a soul pool, right, for the Ninja Turtles champions. April, Donatello, Leonardo, Raphael, Michelangelo, and Shredder. So here it says this is your last opportunity to get them, but that is not true, right? You can always get the soul after the collab, but I guess it will be the last time there will be a targeted summon pool for these souls. So yeah, maybe you still need the Leo soul or something, and maybe you can get lucky here with this free Prism summon, and that's a way to do it. Very efficient. You know, complete the Fire Night tournament at the same time, complete the Champ Train tournament as well, or at least get some points for it, because there are also relic mets in here, and maybe it's right the amount of points you need to get to the coins or the legendary book, or maybe you want to go for first place and grab the mythical mats here, right? And that's just a good way to get extra points for it and, you know, be most efficient with your energy. Now you can basically do the same thing with the Gear Ascension tournament. For example, you can use an Empress, right, for Sand Devil, solo the Sand Devil, train food champions, get points for the Champ Train tournament. But also, you can do this with an R-base if you want to run Shogun. I don't know if Empress can solo Shogun, but I doubt it. I would advise you to solo the Shogun and Sand Devil first, because there will be a Gear Hunters event tomorrow as well. So actually, we can triple dip points right here for the Gear Hunters event starting tomorrow. The Fire Night tournament, which starts today, but we're going to farm it tomorrow, or start farming it tomorrow, and then get points for the Champ Train tournament as well. So we're going to start with the Gear Ascension tournament today, right? Do Sand Devil with Empress, or you know, Shogun with our base. And then from tomorrow, once the Gear Hunters event starts, I'm going to use my energy for the Fire Night tournament and the Dark Elves team, right? And yeah, that's pretty much it about this video. If you're interested in how to do this with our base, I have a video on this. You can find it in the description below. And yeah, make sure to hit the like button. It really goes a long way. Let me know in the comments below if you are going for these tournaments or if you're completely dry after these crazy events from the Ninja Turtles collab. You know, very low on my resources. Also shards after this Leo path. It was definitely a huge investment in terms of resources. And yeah, make sure to subscribe if you want to see more raid content. And the YouTube algorithm is going to suggest you a video that you might like right here. See you in the next one.